Okay, bud. I've clicked it. Whether or not it's working or not, I don't know. I can't tell
Hold
you if
on.
it's working.
I'll look. I'll
Oh,
look.
I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna act
No,
like it's working.
I didn't ask you to wait. It does saying that we're live.
Oh yeah, we did it. We're on the internet.
I'm gonna like it because and then I'm gonna say something. Heyo.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I could pop out this chat. Let me do that. Let me pop out that chat and bring it over here. And I'm going to put it right there. Bam. Oh, now I can see the chat. That's right. Oh, yeah.
Oh
We
my
go right there.
goodness.
Bro, AAA gaming. Am I right?
Am I right?
It's been a fantastic past, what, week? 7 days? 2 weeks? Something like that?
It's been something, man.
It's been 2 weeks since you looked at me.
It's been.
Dude, us boomers. We know what it's about. We know what it's about.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
throw out a quick little thing on Discord that I'll do a little bit of work for the podcast and actually tell people that we're doing it.
Really? No, we don't want people to
Yeah.
know. We don't want you guys to know. If you're out there watching this podcast in the future past, thank you so much. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. It's been a minute since our last podcast. It's been like 2-3 weeks, right? We kind of took a
Yeah.
little hiatus. You know, maybe we forgot one day or two. You know, it's all right. Maybe we slept in. Who knows?
Call me out. Call me out. No,
I was talking about myself.
No, I take full responsibility.
Like, honestly, last week
I
I woke up
gladly.
and I was just like, I don't want to text Jared at all. And I was just like, I gotta be that guy. And I texted him like, please don't answer. Please don't answer. Please don't answer. And
And
then
I
you
didn't. And for like an
yeah.
hour or something, I didn't even see it. And I'm like, oh crap! I forgot what day it was.
And I was just like, oh, thank God, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I was like literally like laying in my recliner. I was just like, yes. It
Yeah,
was
I had started off the week with a migraine, missed a couple days of work, and totally forgot what day it was when Wednesday had rolled around. Was sitting here, I was just like, I'd finished editing a video for the channel,
you're like, yeah, I did some shit.
Red Gaming,
Yeah.
little plug there. I can't remember. I was playing something. I think I might have been playing a game or just chilling, and I looked down at my phone and I got a text, and I was like, oh.
Oh no.
I'm like, hey, dude, you want to skip today? Because I completely forgot what day it was.
Yeah.
And I think the week before that, I was just feeling like crap.
Hey, that's
Middle
all
of the
right.
week is hit and miss, man. Like you're halfway through the week, hump day, and sometimes it just not doing so great sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes the strip
And
club like wears you down, dude. Strip club really wears you down.
yeah.
People don't realize it. Strip club's a rough place to work.
In fact, that's the name of the strip club, Worn Down.
It'll tear you down. That's the name of it.
However you want.
It'll tear you down.
Am I right?
Am I right? It'll tear you down. Semicolon. Am I right?
Yeah. I'm gonna start that strip club, and it's gonna have the hot tub in it.
It's just hot dogs on a roller that like eventually like dump off into a hot tub where you're just sitting there like
slowly.
Yeah. You see it coming, and then you're just like, we'll take bets on when it'll get here. We'll take bets. It has like a tally thing, like the LED strip, the tally thing, like hot dog bets and stuff like that going on. Yeah.
There's all kinds of prizes.
Yeah. Freaking wild.
When you get there's like a little ticket machine like at like a Fuddruckers or whatever.
Yeah.
Or do they do that at Fuddruckers?
Ticket machine at Fuddruckers. Oh, you mean for like are you being like the customer waiting order or whatever?
I'm thinking of what there's other like those places where you get pizza, but there's also games, and then when you win the games, you get the tickets.
Oh,
and you
like
get the tickets to the
Chuck
E. Cheese. I guess are those still a thing?
I think they are.
I think they used to do that, but I haven't been to one of those since I was a kid, and I don't remember it.
I'm looking it up.
Of course. But you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, no, like I know. I think it's Dave and Buster's is the one here in like the
Okay.
southern whatever, the southern southeastern hemisphere is Dave and Buster's is
I
what it's
feel like we
called.
have one of those up here too, but I
It's
could
like
be wrong.
it's an adult, like, hey, come get some food, and then also there's like hundreds of video games for you to dump money in after you're like all beard out, you know.
Dude,
Does
I
Chuck
miss
E. Cheese
arcades, man. I wish that was more of a regular thing. Arcades. Like you have to go to special places for that anymore. There's not just arcades anymore. It's you know, food and arcade. I mean, I guess it's fine that way, but I miss that. Although I didn't live in the heyday of arcades because I was but a wee child at the time
look
in
at
the
that.
80s.
Is Chuck E.
What's up?
Cheese going out of business in 2023?
Oh damn. I
And
mean, they probably
yeah,
should shut down. I mean, come on.
yeah, probably. I don't know what this article is. It just kind of looks like a whole thing. This is actually a long ass article. Oh
That is
my
a
gosh.
long ass that is an article ass article.
That is an article ass article from somebody. It doesn't give any attributions at the top, so somebody wrote it. Maybe it's at the bottom.
Probably written by AI.
Conclusion: Chuck E. Cheese, yada yada. Yeah, who knows? It's just that's
It's probably
actually
written by an AI.
that's totally a thing too. Like, there's
I
already
know it is.
websites out there that are just like littered with AI like articles, and they're like places like I think it's like CNN, like reputable news places are like, wait, these are all written by bots. We need to let people know, but it's like after the fact. It's weird.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to talk about AI today. I don't. We'll get to
Oh.
it. We'll get to it eventually. It'll naturally come up anyway because that's
There was
just.
literally something I wanted to talk about that was AI
Well,
related.
what is it?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much we can go in depth about it, but I don't know if you've seen someone has integrated Chat GPT into Skyrim. Have you seen
Really?
that?
No.
Yeah. And the NPCs, you can talk to them with your voice, with a voice like actual voice, and they
Yo.
will talk back with dialogue that's never been heard before because it's Chat and GPT. It sounds janky because it's that AI kind of
Voice?
voice,
Oh, it would be so cool if they used the voice lines and synthesized their voice.
Well, but this is a stepping stone. Like that's the next iteration. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like they'll get to that point. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, there's definitely like there's already bots to where if you give it enough like voice lines and stuff, it can synthesize a voice. Like
Well,
I saw on Twitter the other day, there's like whole ass movies and commercials generated by AI now. Like
yeah. There's
like
that
the
beer
Bud,
commercial.
yeah, the Bud, dude, the Budweiser commercial where it's like, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they just keep saying that. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so funny, it's so good.
It's gonna make commercials fun to watch again.
Yeah,
Watching AI come up with their janky ass interpretations of real life.
but like it's 100% made by AI, and it's just a video. Like it's like a 30 FPS video, and I'm just like, holy shit, it's doing it. And
It's
it's
happening.
literally
It's
just a
happening.
bunch of people just sitting around like, like, and they're like,
Well,
like that's what they're doing.
they're really the drinking part was really weird looking
Yeah,
because the bottles are all this weird oblong looking weird shapes and they're
yeah,
just like
yeah.
if I remember, I only saw like a snippet of it. I didn't actually watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched on Twitter. Whatever was on Twitter was that, and it's just so funny. And then there was like a whole ass movie that got made from like, it's like The Great Gatsby, like where it's The Great Gatsby, but it's got cats in
But
it.
it's cats.
But it's also got humans in it. It's not like Cats the movie. It's like actual cats, and then they're like they start talking or something. It's fucking weird. But like literally,
Dude,
there's a couple of like scenes in the trailer for it that are just like, wow, this just looks like a regular movie trailer. But then you like
wild.
look at the hands and like they're sitting there drinking champagne. And you're like they got big meat stumps. Yeah, yeah,
Like AI hasn't quite figured out how people actually operate, like
yeah.
movement wise.
But it's close.
Or
Like
yeah,
it's
just
gotten
yeah,
it's gotten so close
it
so
won't be long.
fast. It won't.
It
Yeah,
won't be long
yeah. It won't
before
be on.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah, the whole
How,
Skyrim thing, like we talked about it a little bit the last time we did a podcast where I think we were talking about what we expected or would like to see AI involved in video games or something like that.
yeah,
I
no,
think this is a
100%.
perfect example of what I would like to actually see.
Oh yeah, no, the
I
Skyrim
would
thing.
like to
Yeah,
see that. And not just
yeah.
Skyrim, but like I think the implications of this is it's phenomenal. It's groundbreaking. Like where you can use your voice with a microphone and you can have a conversation with NPCs in the game. It's
Yeah.
not scripted conversations. It's not like, oh, here's a list of responses that you have to the scripted conversation. It's just like I'm a person, I'm going to ask this NPC a question and they're going to respond to me with a completely unique and unheard response because it's a AI generating. I think that's insane.
How much?
That's super cool.
So there's a couple of tangents we can go on. So first
We
off,
don't have to go down the AI tangent. I just wanted to
yeah.
mention that because I'd
Oh
seen
no,
it.
we're gonna wind up in gaming. I'll redirect us there eventually because it's all tied together. But so Skyrim, I feel like is the best test bed. Because it's Bethesda and right, like
Easily
Bethesda's
moddable.
the best. Bethesda's the best like gaming company out there. Like they make the best games. Uh, so I've heard. Also, Skyrim's been out for so long, and there's so many people modding Skyrim. Like, there's so many people in the mod scene for Skyrim, and like the creation engine, as far as Skyrim is concerned,
Mhm.
is pretty well known, right? So it's the most likely candidate. Like, it has the biggest install base type thing, right? Like user base,
Sure.
like group of people. So I think that would be a thing. Also, get this. Microsoft owns Bethesda now, right? So Chat GPT
Mhm.
integration into Skyrim. That's going to be the next. How much you want to bet they're going to sell a Skyrim Chat GPT edition? Where it's like, hey, we saw y'all doing this thing in the mod community and we thought it was great, so we stole that idea and we're going to resell Skyrim to you.
Yeah.
To where they have like a
Dude.
Skyrim Chat GPT edition where like there's no like all they did was conscript the voice actors' voices
Yeah.
and they put it in an AI model to where it just makes its own story.
I'll tell you what though.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'd
buy
pay
that.
for it.
I'd buy
I'd
that
buy
too.
that
Yeah. Uh-huh.
because I've only played one, and you've seen the game that I played, that one indie game where Chat GPT was integrated, and
Yeah.
it was janky and weird, but it was still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I really want to see it done in a way that's actually viable,
Yeah.
believable. Like you said, if they could take
Yeah.
those voices and just like have the AI synthesize the voices of those
Yeah.
characters. I mean, there's only like 10 voice actors in those games anyway,
Yeah.
so
It wouldn't be hard. Like really all they have to do is give Chat GPT like the hard points of the story. Like this happens if this happens, and this happens if that happens. And this is the through line of the whole thing. And like no matter what, this is gonna happen, no matter what buttons get pressed, what levers get pulled, this dragon freaking murders this dude at this point, yada yada yada, right? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like I feel like Bethesda is as much shit as I give them. They do set trends so much in the gaming space that it's not even fun. People have come to think that Bethesda is like a huge trendsetter, which they used to be, but now they're not because they're old and they don't innovate. Because the creation engine's the best engine ever made, but it's really not. Yeah.
We with what we're seeing with Unreal 5, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Creation Engine ain't got nothing on that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went to like Epic Games was like, please make some plugins for Creation Engine, please. We can't buy the whole thing, but we'll buy modules from you.
Yeah, I don't see Bethesda doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're perfectly happy owning it completely,
You know
having
what?
complete control over it.
All right, here's where we're going to transition into modern day topics, right?
Okay.
Do you know what Redfall's game engine was?
I do not.
You don't? Okay. I don't either.
I don't.
I wonder if it's in the creation engine.
It can't be Unreal. From everything that I've been hearing about it, I feel like Unreal, like if they had made it an Unreal, just basic Unreal, it would have been better than what I'm hearing.
No, no, like it could be Unreal. No, it's Unreal Engine 4. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like, just because something's an Unreal Engine doesn't mean it's like the best thing since sliced
I'm
bread.
just
It's
no,
just
I know that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like just like the tools that come with Unreal would, I feel like you could make a game better than what I've been hearing with Redfall when they've had how many years to make it.
oh, I don't know.
I think they've been working on it for like 5 years or something. I heard,
Oh yeah,
or something like that. I could be wrong.
I'm looking right now. Distract them! Distract them! Wave your keys in the air.
That's about all I've got in the old brain pan for creativity at this moment.
Um. In development.
You were just watching you trying to Google something. It's just it's
Dude,
just
like
showing itself.
I don't know how to type. Like basically, that's what it adds up to. 4 years they've
4
been
years.
been in development for 4 years. So here's the thing,
Crazy.
right? Like have you played any Redfall?
I haven't played it. I've got it installed. I pre-installed it on
Yeah.
Game Pass because we talked about playing with Sarge and Kato at some point,
Right.
which I'm assuming is still going to happen. I still don't know when, how, or anything. But yeah, I didn't jump into it because I've still been playing Star Wars.
Star Wars, Star Wars. All right, so I played Redfall for 5 hours roughly, I think, maybe 4, something like that. I pretty much just downloaded it and then downloaded day one patch and just played it to play it. So I've played about 5 hours of it, and also I've watched a couple of reviews on it, like mostly Skill Up's review and stuff. I feel like a lot of people expected a lot more from the game because of who made the game. Arcane Studios made the game. They made games like Prey and what is the other stuff? Like the most recent one was the Deathloop game or whatever. I think that's what it was called or something. And then they made what was that one? There was one where you were like this guy and you were like doing stuff and you had the mask and I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, it's Arcane Studios made it, Bethesda published it, and yeah, so like the pedigree of like immersive world, character-driven, story-based games, that's what a lot of people were expecting of this like first-person team-based shooter, and like, I'll be honest with you, the game's not bad. Like the game's not like, it's not like. There's indie games that are a lot worse. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but like they're selling this game as a $70 AAA product. It's not a $70 AAA product.
Yeah.
It is a $25 like early access game. That's what it is. This is a $25 early access game. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, but it'll get good. Like there's no saving this fucking game. Like, there's not. I mean, it's made in Unreal Engine. Like, the assets are there. If they take all these assets and just, like say, okay, now let's just make it to where you can make your own game modes and, like, do your own things and have your own stuff and blah, 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 then maybe, like, the game might come back. Like, you never know. Like, freaking...
You think it's done for already?
Yeah.
Like you think the complete utter failure of the launch it'll never recover.
I mean, there's a chance it could pull a No Man's Sky. There's a chance that could happen. Like there's always that chance. That's something that's always in the back of our head. Like it could be the next No Man's Sky.
Here's the question: is there anything between like now and let's just say Starfield? Any big titles coming out that will distract people from Redfall being fixed? So there's a possibility if they can fix it.
But like that's the thing. There's nothing to fix. Like that's what I'm saying. Like at a technical standpoint, like the game's playable. Like I don't know what my frame rate was because there wasn't a frame counter in Windows Game Store or whatever. but like I was noticing frame dips and stuff like that, and I got a 6800 XT. Yeah, 6800 XT AMD graphics card and a 5000 series AMD CPU. It's like a 5700 or whatever. I don't know. It does things. It does shit. Okay, it makes shit happen. It's not the top of the line computer, but it's above the recommended specs for the game, right? And I was noticing frame dips. I play at 1440p. I had everything on Epic or Ultra or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And there was frame dips, so potentially it was running about 45 FPS. So like optimizations could happen. But like the core of the game, like there's no game. Like the game is so meh. Like there's zero player like urgency. Like I was playing the game on its hardest difficulty, which is like midnight mode or something. And like literally I was just like walking up to vampires and I was like, yo, dude, I pulled out a shot. And like that was it. Like, well, sorry, midnight mode is like, okay, there you go. They were a little bit more bullet spongy. But like still, like if you use your ability, like once you unlock your ability, like there's zero like you don't
is there even a story?
There is, but it's like the extent of the story is like, hey, this is why vampires exist. Hey, let's get to the bottom of this Scooby-Doo adventure. Like
I can't do the sound like.
Yeah, like literally Scooby-Doo has a deeper story than this game. Like
that's depressing.
I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but like that's literally what it is. Like Scooby-Doo has a deeper story. Beam at you want me to? Well, like there's already enough people like just fucking blowing this dead horse's brains out. Well, like I don't understand that. I don't want to.
I understand that, but we're coming at it with an analytical.
Yeah, no.
I think so many people, like you said, have unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Like with every game that's released, that it's never going to change.
Yeah,
makes me really worried about Starfield.
Well, so like that's another thing I was going to bring up that like Skillip brought up in his review is that this is a Bethesda published like IP, right? From Arcane Studios, which is like got this pedigree of great character-based, story-driven, like first-person yada yadas, right? And like they came out with this, and then you look at Fallout 76, which was Bethesda's last game, which is kind of has the same issue to where it's just like, okay, like the story's paper thin and you just exist in a world. Though. Yeah, but it still is just like you exist in this world. Deal with it. Hey, look, my camera froze. Woo! Just so people know, we're going to be having
that's going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to be having technical difficulties throughout the day because apparently my camera is just absolute jank. What's happening?
I just looked at the stream like when you were changing the camera, like everything looked really jank, like extra jank.
Oh, like did we go Minecraft mode?
No, it's just like I was like in this sort of like ethereal realm for a second, and yeah, it was crazy. That or I'm doing shrooms again. No.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. I don't.
Like I think if you needed to draw a like comparison to another game, like what kind of game is Redfall like? Another game? I would literally say Fallout 76. I would say that is the closest game to it. Like now that I think about it, like this is just off the top of the head, but like literally
I wish Sarge was here.
if you were playing it solo, like I haven't played enough Fallout 76 to like really know, but like from what I know, like Fallout 76 just had an empty world, right? Like it was kind of just basically empty and it was just bad guys sprinkled throughout. Like that's
changed a lot.
Yeah, but in the beginning
they added in the beginning it was like that. It's not like that.
That's anymore. What Redfall is right now. Like literally like you could probably walk from one end to the map to probably about halfway to the other end of the map and not hit any enemies. You just be like, oh, this is a ghost town. It's a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it might be understandable if there's vampires everywhere, but that's the thing. There's not vampires everywhere.
There's no one.
There's there's human NPCs and vampires. Vampires have different mob types. Like I went against like a shroud mob type, and like there was another type of vampire. I can't remember. It was more of like a boss type or something like that. And then there's like the basic human NPC types, which is like a sniper, shotgunner, basic assault rifle human, and stuff like that. And like they're kind of pushovers. Like literally, I was just like, I'm just gonna test to see. All this is on hard, by the way. We're just gonna test to see like how quickly will these human NPCs just like break it off in me. You know what I'm saying? Like punish me for being stupid, like a dumb gamer. Like literally, I just was running down a street. I had a pistol in my hand. I just ran down the street, and I was just like, boom, and I just blew two of them's brains out, and the other one was just like, what's happening? Oh, you know, like I punched one dude to death in the middle of like three other dudes, and it was just like, okay, all right, all right. So like, NPC AI ain't really there. Like they're just pawns on the chessboard, right? Literally, the only way you can increase the difficulty on those people or on those NPCs is to just increase the number of them to where there's so many of them, like the chances that they'll actually get something accomplished is increased. Unless they went and did an AI overhaul. So that's that. The same thing goes for vampires too. Like they do more damage. They're more of a bullet sponge, but like they're vampires, right? So they could be more of a bullet sponge without it breaking the immersion or anything. Yeah, like they have the same issues. Like they have different power sets or different move capabilities. They can teleport and like evaporate into the ground and shit like that, and they can shroud things and do all kind of like move really fast. But like realistically, like there's not really a big threat of them unless there's like 8 or 9 of them around you or some shit like that. It's a camera. Look at it go.
Oh, I gotta see
Whoa.
what it looks like on the stream now.
I'm back.
Oh,
That was
I switched to the other side, and then I see like some Discord stuff, and it's wild.
It's wild.
I hope everyone appreciates that. I will be honest. I didn't really have the greatest expectations of Redfall to begin with, just because of the type of game it was supposed to be. The only thing I was mostly interested in just getting to play it with my friends.
Yeah.
Because we haven't all got to play anything since Vermintide.
Yeah.
Or we played a little Monster Hunter, but I didn't enjoy that as much as you guys. But I enjoyed playing with y'all.
Yeah.
So that was really the draw for me, but it's getting worse and worse.
It is. It's just like it's quicker. Maybe I just need to just like I'm just gonna like try and be like when it freezes and oh no, I was so close.
Oh man. Dude, you're gonna need to freaking like just like I don't know, plug in a new camera.
Yeah, like maybe get better internet or something. It's not internet. It's my HDMI. Yeah, it's my HDMI to USB adapter is what it is. But yeah, it's getting hot. That's what happens. It gets hot every once in a while, then it starts freezing up. But it's like hot in here. Yeah. Like it was the same thing for me. Like I was as it was getting like going through his press junket, I guess is what you call it, where you see like the trailers and stuff. I'm just like looking at it like, okay, A, what the fuck is this? B, why does it look so shitty? Not as in like graphic fidelity wise, right? But like as in there's zero player urgency in everything that you see. Like you look at every trailer and the player is just like, oh god. Oh.
Finger guns, freeze frame.
Pew, 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 pew. Like the player's just like, oh look, a vampire. Oh no, it's chasing me. Like that's every trailer, right?
Right.
Like it's kind of just like it almost feels like it's on rails and super bad scripted. It's not. That's how the game actually is. It's just like, oh my god, it's here. And then like, you go do a thing. Like that's what the game is. It's just a very meh game. Like literally it's just a sandbox right now. But it's a sandbox with it feels like nothing in it. Like if I don't know, like it feels like an early access, like, hey, this is $15 early access, like this is what I got so far. Y'all go in there and have fun, and like, let's see if we can come up with some type of game mode or whatever. Like that's what this feels like. It really feels like that. Like maybe there's tools and things to do, but like honestly, like I haven't gotten more than 5 hours into it, and I really just there's nothing there that says you need to keep going, keep digging, keep trying, right?
Right.
And then I look at other reviews, and I'm just like, wow, there's really nothing. Like the deeper you go, there's like the less and less there is, and like you can tell, like the reviewers are like they're upset, like they're sad, they're upset and mad of like I'm having to do this. Fuck this game. We're gonna burn it to the ground. You know, like I'm just like, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened to you guys? You're like, y'all were so sweet and innocent, and now look at you. What did this game do to you?
Ruined their lives.
Yeah, I think like there was a couple of sentiments of like, okay, so this is a bad game. Got it. Just take the L, bad game. Got it. What is Microsoft like gonna do? Because this is their how many how many first party IPs is this? So they had Microsoft Legends, which wasn't that bad. It's actually pretty good. It actually reviewed pretty well. It's a pretty fun game if you're into strategy stuff. The Minecraft Minecraft. Yeah, I meant to say Minecraft, sorry. Minecraft Legends, it was all right. Yeah, if you're like a Minecraft person or a strategy person, you're probably loving that game. Probably. They had some weird quirks about it, but like it's a kid game. So it is what it is. You have that, then you got Redfall, and then you got Starfield. Those are the 3 Microsoft IPs that are supposed to make you want to buy an Xbox or sign it, like log into Game Pass or whatever, right? Like,
I guess, I don't know. I mean,
like
I
whatever.
never felt that way about them, but
oh gosh, dude, what is going on with this camera, dude? All right, I'm getting faster. Like this is like Jedi training. This is Jedi training.
I'm sure.
But like,
I'm sure it's not annoying to anyone watching at all.
Like you got these 3 things that like, hey, these are incremental tools in Microsoft's master plan to make you manipulate you into doing whatever they want to do so they could make money, right? Well, one of them's a kid's game that's kind of okay, all right. One of them's Redfall that's like dead on arrival, right? And then you got Starfield, which is also published by the same people that published the Dead on Arrival game. And also, their last game was Fallout 76. So, yeah, like, and hasn't Starfield been delayed like 2 or 3 times already?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been delayed a couple of times. So, yeah.
Hopefully,
what the heck?
Hopefully they're fixing it. Yeah. Hopefully they've delayed it enough to not run into the same problems that they're running into with Redfall.
Yeah. Like the hope is it's like if Starfield is a bust, I got heads are probably gonna roll, man. Like literally, like, and not just like Bethesda heads, but like Microsoft Xbox heads. Like that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I fear for the future of like the Elder Scrolls IP if Starfield fails.
Well, I mean, as of right now, the thing that keeps on giving is Elder Scrolls Online, but not everybody's about it. Like it's not what a lot of people want. Dang it! Ah! Ooh, we got the bars on that one.
Wow.
Ooh, channel went offline.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
So
I'm
done.
Man, I'm done.
It's getting bad.
It's getting real bad. Stuff's getting real low, big guy.
Emperor now.
What?
I said we're just gonna see cool Palpatine now.
Yeah, probably, maybe. It'll get to a point where I'm just like, man, screw this. You're looking at Palpatine. Or I'll just leave it like this. If it's on a good enough face, I'm gonna leave it.
Or you keep turning it off. That would have been a great. That's your model face.
Oh my gosh.
You're on the runway.
All right, there we go.
Anyways.
That's a decent face. What do you think
Oh
about
my
that?
God, fine, just leave it. It's getting annoying having to see it flip around.
All right, let's.
It'll just be me moving around now.
Oh, well, and then now it's just like, nope, it's not. It's broken. Oh, and it instantly broke
Dude.
again.
It's not working. Wow, you've got some issues, and I thought I had issues.
You
with stuff.
thought you had issues.
I
Wow.
think you maybe need a new cable completely if it's that bad. Like I can't imagine just the heat making it.
Dude, like my video source is very Redfall right now. Like it doesn't.
That's what this is, guys. This isn't us having technical difficulties. This is us giving you an example of what Redfall is.
Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna be Palpatine right
I
now.
hope no one who's watching now or later has epilepsy. You're setting them off right now with this crap.
Dude, like, all right. So this is just gonna be what it is. This is just what it is. This is it.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can
Did
you hear me?
just go completely?
Can you hear? Can you not hear me?
I think Eddie might have just disappeared.
Oh no! Everything's breaking.
Or he's resetting everything.
Can
my
you
God,
can you hear me?
dude?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You guys can hear him? I mean, I hear him every now and then. Wow.
Okay, so they
Well,
can hear.
While
they,
Eddie's figuring that out, Darth Vader, how you doing, buddy? We don't normally directly engage with the chat while we're doing these podcasts, but since I've got time and
for some reason
Eddie's
he
having
can't hear
issues.
me, but you guys can hear me. This is gonna be weird.
I can hear you now.
Now you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Maybe I'm also having like issues.
No, probably what was happening is like I tried to flood the like video call with like so many like camera on, camera off, camera on, camera off, and it's just like I don't know what's happening. Ah! Yo, there's a cat in your background. There's a cat in your background.
Hey,
you got to have your face close to him because like your background filter is like blurring him.
It kind of detected him a little bit.
Just a little bit. I wonder if I can do this on the fly. Let's go like text like this.
Oh boy, what are you trying to do?
I'm just putting some stuff. I don't know where it's gonna be at. I don't know where it's gonna be at. Hold on a second. Just talk. Just talk.
What? Okay. Yes. Yes, it's Chester. Miss you streaming. Yes.
What do you think I should type? What do you think I should type in here?
Every time I start talking to them, you start talking to me. God damn it.
All right, so tell me what your experience with Star Wars is.
Okay, let's talk about Star Wars. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I've enjoyed it for the most part. It's just like the first game where like it's super fun for most of the time, and then you get to a fight that is just stupid hard. And it sucks, and it's no fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the Rancor. I heard about you playing it and fighting the Rancor and having a fun time with that.
Rancor was fun. I had a good time with the Rancor.
Oh, you did you? Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Thanks. Hey, that's perfect.
Perfect. You like it? There you go.
I do. I wish you could make cool Palpatine a little bit bigger though, but
I wish I could as well. I could just like take that image and import it in. Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
We're just adding on to other stuff. All right. So yeah, how far have you gotten into the game?
Well, can you throw up the spoiler thing?
Yeah.
People?
I can do that.
Just because if we're gonna be talking in depth, like where we are and what's happened and stuff.
Spoilers. Fast forward ahead to where you don't see the spoiler thing if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, and I'll give y'all a couple seconds to decide if you want to listen to spoilers or not before we get into it.
One Mississippi. All right, you're good.
So I've gotten to I was just at the Imperial base looking for Bode,
Uh-huh.
and we embraced the dark side a little bit. And
Looking for
I think
Bode. Imperial base looking for Bode.
Oh, have you not gotten that far?
I don't think so.
Do you want
Are you talking about
spoilers right now, dude?
No, that's fine. You talking about the ball base, like the ball ship or whatever, the Raider ship?
No.
Is it after the Raider ship?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten that far. I just got to the Raider ship.
Do you want to know?
Well, I'm pretty sure like Bode is either a bad guy or he got captured. Because he's.
Well, do you want to know or not?
He's an a-hole anyway. I don't care. Tell me.
Yeah, he totally betrays your ass.
Oh, he's totally a bad guy. Oh my gosh, I called it.
He's kind of a bad guy, kind of not a bad guy. Do you really want me to spoil everything for you right now?
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't really matter because I've already been in my stream like he's gonna be a bad guy. What y'all want?
Yeah, I was calling it from the very beginning. It's like here's this character who we've never met, who's apparently like our new best friend. He's
Bestie
totally
for
going to
Resty.
betray us.
Okay.
Okay, he's a Jedi.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's another survivor, but instead of fighting against the Empire, he essentially made a deal with them to protect his daughter.
Oh, okay, all right. That's kind of wild.
There comes a point when you're searching for this compass to help you navigate the abyss or whatever to get to Tanalorr. And you get it, and you're back at the base, and there's other people that you are talking to, another Jedi guy who's like your friend or whatever, and they fix it because it's broken. They're like, oh, now we can go. Oh, everything's cool.
Yeah.
We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. And then suddenly, oh no, the Imperials are here. They're surrounding us. How'd they find us? And then he's got a gun to your like mentor Jedi friend and blows him away with a freaking blaster.
Dude, that's wild.
See, and here's where my gripe with the game comes in.
Yeah.
You're a mother freaking Jedi. You can control things with your brain. You can move stuff around.
It's not your brain. It's midichlorians.
You know what I mean. Don't get technical with me. There's so many little things and stuff that happen that don't make sense for someone who can do that kind of stuff. Like in the very beginning with your little droid thing, it's on the tree and the big monster or the big dinosaur alien picks it up and he's like, "Oh, you're going with like, oh, get away from there, BD." And then the robot falls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're Jedi. He's like, no, he is running to like catch him.
Yeah.
It's like, you got the Force, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you even worried about this?
Yeah.
I mean, the robot shoots a little rocket out his butthole and saves himself. But why didn't we even try to help?
Like we did in the first game where we saved our friend that was falling and we were like, oh, I'm going to use the Force to like save my friend. Like we could have, we could have done that. Yeah, no, I made that same parallel with that part of the game.
It's so stupid. I'm like, dude.
Like there's parts of the game that forgets that like what an actual Jedi is. That's like, oh, you mean like so Jedi can use the Force to like crush things and push stuff and jump a football field and all this stuff. And then you're just like, but I'm not a Jedi right now, apparently, because I can't do those things because it's not in the parameters of the game.
There was another part where you come to a door and it's blocked with like a shelf and it's like, oh, I guess we're not going that way. I'm like, are you serious, dude? It's a bookshelf and you can't move it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we are tearing like TIE fighters out of the sky. Well, I guess we're not doing that, but we're doing some pretty crazy stuff and you can't move a little bookshelf to get through to go where you need to go. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Deal? And we're not like a new Jedi. Like at this point in the second game, we're like a pretty big deal. Like we know what we're doing. We've got training through experience and on the battlefield and shit. Like we're not just like some little, snot-nosed Padawan.
Yeah, no, like literally, like the second game I think happens like a couple years after the first one. Like there's a whole book written in between and stuff like that.
I didn't know about that.
Like we're like taking on the Empire and doing all kinds of shit. Like, yeah, so like the reason we all separated is covered in that book.
Oh.
Like it addressed it in a flashback briefly where basically it was just like, oh, I was pushing too hard. But yeah, like
we're only fighting, you know, the freaking Empire.
Yeah.
Should I go easy on them?
Yeah.
You know, they're only trying to take over the galaxy and pretty much do. To
Yeah,
be
I
honest, they
think
pretty much do.
so. My opinions on the game is like it's an okay Star Wars story. It's a very predictable Star Wars story. And now that you've confirmed like my predictions, I'm just like, whoa, that is a very predictable Star Wars story.
To be fair, like Star Wars in general is fairly predictable in
Yeah,
of itself.
maybe I
Like
wonder
Star
if
Wars really hasn't done anything. It's always good versus evil.
yeah,
Someone gets betrayed.
good
The
guy
end.
wins, bad guy
Good
wins.
guy
Good
wins in the end.
yeah, like it's good guy wins, bad guy wins, good guy wins again, and then gets the ultimate win, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
yeah. So the first game was good guy wins. This game's going to be bad guy wins, and the second game is good, or third game's going to be bad guy wins, real good. Like he's going to win so good that the bad guy is not going to win.
Right, because we
But
already
then,
know what's gonna happen
yeah,
here.
like the third game, they're probably going to tie into either Rogue Squadron or
Ooh.
or they're going to tie into Star Wars Rebels, or they're going to tie into the OG trilogy. Like one of those three, because it's in that time span.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 5 to 10 years after Order 66, right? So like
Yeah.
it would be so dope if we saw like Saw Gerrera and the Bad Batch, right? Like that would, because we're operating in the same time span as the Bad Batch. Because Bad Batch
Well,
is like as Order 66 went off, and like a year or two after.
well, we're working for Saw Gerrera in the very beginning of the second game.
Yeah. So
So there's a chance we'll see him at some point, but unlikely.
yeah. I
Just
don't know.
because I mean, if you've seen Rogue One, you know what happens to him.
Yeah.
You know, we still got the spoilers thing up. Yeah, he biffs it. He doesn't make it. Rogue One is just a story about a bunch of main characters that freaking die.
Yeah.
Although I
Yeah.
haven't seen Andor, and I heard it's really freaking good though.
It is. It's a spy. It's a spy film. It's a spy story. It's not
I
a.
haven't seen it. Don't
You know.
tell me
You know how.
that I don't want spoilers on.
Okay. You know how Mandalorian's like a western.
Mm-hmm.
Andor is a spy. It's like a spy novel. It's just like, oh my god,
Okay.
what's happening?
Okay. Okay. Pretty cool. I'm down.
But yeah, as far as is, are we done with the spoiler stuff? Like, is that what you're
I
telling
don't
me that
want.
I need to turn it back off?
I just noticed cool Palpatine just got real big suddenly.
Yeah, no, like that's just like an alternate picture I got on it. Like
Great.
that's all it is. It's just the high fidelity picture that I use for my thing.
No, it's good. I just happened to look over and see that he was much bigger and smiling into my soul.
He's a thick boy.
He's a big boy with a butt chin.
But yeah, no. So like the story I feel is very predictable. The on Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's predictable, but it's a Star Wars kind of I like that's probably why a lot of people like it so much. Like the Star Wars story in general, because they know what to expect. And there's a thing in like storytelling. Either you get a dopamine rush when you expect a thing and then the thing's given to you, or when you expect a thing and then your expectations are circumvented and you get something totally different that you enjoy. Like that's where like a lot of comedy is based off of, and like storytelling and all that kind of like human interaction with stuff. Uh, I think that's one way that the Star Wars, I guess, IP continues to like pique people's interest, because they expect a thing and then it delivers, right? Like you look at the last trilogy, the with Rey and stuff like that, like the first one, people expected this. It delivered on that thing. Everybody was like, "We didn't want that," but they really did, right? So then they listened to the people and gave them what they thought that they wanted, which was something that circumvented their expectations, right? And then everybody died, and like they were like, this fucking sucks, and they were like, this is what you wanted, what? And then the third one was just like an absolute shit show because it was trying to fix everything and make it make all make sense. So it's just, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Um. But I will say the one thing that these games do well, like whether it's Fallen Order or Survivor,
Uh
I mean, like rolling around, you know, doing dudes in with a lightsaber feels pretty good.
huh. Doing dudes in.
Doing dudes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that how you want.
I don't. I
Like I
disagree.
liked I think it feels great. It feels
What?
better than every other Star Wars game that you wield a lightsaber in has ever done.
Yeah. What difficulty you're playing it on?
I'm right in the middle,
So you're like
and there's been
Jedi
times
Knight.
where I'm like, yeah, I'm doing Jedi Knight, and there's been times where I'm like, I got to make this easier because this is bull crap.
Yeah.
You fight two of those Raider veterans at the same time, and they whoop your butt, and I'm just like, this is bull crap. They
Have you
shouldn't be able to do this.
like I'm playing on Grandmaster, right?
Yeah, you're
And
crazy.
to me, the combat feels bad. It just feels like everybody else, like every review I've listened to and every opinion I've listened to, is like, oh, the combat's really good. And I'm just like, okay, it's not, but all right. Like, it's not though. But like,
I'm
I
not
think
saying it's
it's,
the greatest.
no, I think it's because I'm on Grandmaster, and to make the game hard, they made the game like play like shit. Like, they made
Maybe.
the, like, because one of the things that they do to make it hard is they make your parry window a lot smaller, right? And they make the enemy health a lot more, and the enemy like damage a lot more, and stuff like that. So like enemies, like they'll mess your shit up, right? And that's totally
Mhm.
fair. But it takes you so long to do damage to them, and you're just like, dude, I have a lightsaber. Like, this thing can cut through metal. Like, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to be doing with this, right? Like, I've seen some people shove this thing into a door and just like cut a big old hole in it. Like, how does this thing just like bounce off of a droid? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, that
what is the explanation for this? Like, I wish if they made it like a glass cannon type situation, like, why can't I be a glass cannon too? Right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I would not enjoy that experience. And
Yeah.
it's the same way like whenever I play like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Usually when I start a new game in Skyrim, I play on like the easiest difficulty because I hate when you're hacking into a dude with your sword and it takes like 50 hits to kill him. I'm
Yeah.
like, this guy's not wearing any armor, and this is a sword, and I put it in his face. Why is he not dead? Like if that's why difficulty is more difficult, that doesn't make sense to me. Like if he
So,
was able to dodge me
yeah.
and like parry me and riposte me and like actually have some like increased skill instead of just being a sponge. I
Yes.
hate sponge for difficulty.
Well, that's
It's
what this
not
game.
fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what this game is, and I think that's another issue I have with this game that you've already hinted on. Of like, why can't I do these things? I'm a Jedi. I should be able to do these things, right? Like, I
Yeah.
should be able to, like, I don't know, use the Force, right, or
Hmm.
whatever. Because like us as human beings, we have imaginations, and we're like, how would I use the Force? It's something we've been dreaming about since we was little kids, and the first time we watched Star Wars, right?
Fair.
So, but this game is structured in a way like it's an outdated game structure. Like, literally, it's the games that were on PlayStation. I can't remember what they're called. They're where you're Nathan Drake and you're like running around doing
Yeah,
shit.
it's Uncharted, but Star Wars. You're
Yeah,
100% correct.
like
That's what these games are.
like I've climbed on so many fucking rock faces and like beams and shit like
Yeah.
that. And I'm
Oh
just like,
yeah.
dude, like, why don't I just, like get a jetpack? Like, I feel like a jetpack would be a valuable investment. I
Yeah.
like as if I was a dude in this environment, like 100%, I would just go buy a jetpack. I would just go buy one. I would get up. I'd be like, hey, Saw Gerrera, give me a freaking jetpack, you loser.
I agree 100%.
Like,
I agree 100%.
there's a lot of issues I have with the game that like you have with the game that are like because of the game is based off of a structure that is not very conducive to what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's a game that thinks it's not a game, but it cannot be anything other than a game because of the way it does things.
Oh, and another thing that annoys me.
And another
Here's
thing.
another thing that annoys me. When you fight, have you fought any like big like actual bosses yet?
Yeah, like I'm up to the raider base, right? So like
Okay.
all the bosses up to that point, I've if I've gone against a boss, I've beaten it. The only thing I haven't like gone against and not beaten is the tears. So like the two frog tear in the shop,
See,
the blue
I haven't
girl
found
shop.
no frog person yet.
You haven't found a frog? Okay, thank God, because like
Yeah.
they are basically demons. Like you remember the frogs in the
I
first
remember the
game?
frog from the first one though.
Okay, so there's one out in the world that you can go do. It's in the Raider Outpost out in the desert.
Come
And
across it.
but no, like you have to specifically go to where it's at. Like you're not gonna like just come across it in story mode or like it's not gonna tell you to go there. Like you
Right. Well,
have
I mean, I
to.
do a fair amount of exploration in the game. To,
Okay, well you'll find it.
still haven't come across it.
Yeah, you it's in a trap door. You'll find it.
Hmm.
You'll get that loot goblin look in your eye, and then you'll find it, and you'll be like, "Oh God, this is what Eddie talked about." But like the frog is a nightmare.
Yeah. Um. Well, you haven't. I can't remember where it happens, but when you go, did you find the old droid, the High Republic droid?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you go and you're trying to find the key to Tanalorr, and it turns out
Yeah,
it's a dude.
the key to
And
ten.
then you fight that dude.
I haven't. Oh yeah. The dude in the water, the back to tank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the back
I've
to
already.
tank.
That's like
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I've already
So
done
like
that.
that to me, that's like a boss fight. It's
Yeah.
like an actual boss fight. Here's the thing that annoys the crap out of me about that kind of a boss fight
Uh-huh.
is you whoop on his ass and you
Yeah.
bring that health bar to 0.
Yeah.
And then in the cutscene, he still wins. I'm like, why did I even have this fight? Why did I bring his health all the way down just for in the cutscene for it to take my victory away? And through the
Yeah.
narrative of storytelling, he whoops me.
He
I'm
got
like, why did I
away.
even do any of this? Just have me enter the room, see the guy, and then in a cutscene, we do a little cool
Yeah.
fight that's been cinematographied and
Yeah.
oh, it's cool. And he wins, and then we don't actually fight until you actually fight him, and then you can actually beat him. But then having to do this stupid boss fight where you bring the health bar all the way down, and if you die, you got to start all over.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Yeah.
boss fight. Whoa, good mechanics,
Yeah.
boss
Yeah.
fights. That's right. I know Kato's here now. He came in just in time for me to hear me rant about boss fights.
Fight. Yes.
But it just
Let the
annoys
hate
me.
flow through you.
Yes, embrace
Yes.
it. Yeah, I would. Yeah. But it just annoys me that you even have to go through that process just for in the cinematic for you to be beat anyways. I mean, I get for the storytelling
Yeah.
purposes,
I
it's
yeah.
progressing the narrative, but like, why even do it? It's pointless.
I agree with you because like literally it goes back to the like are we a Jedi or not? Because like literally in Grandmaster mode, like you sit here and you beat on this dude and you hit him with a lightsaber and all this stuff and like the guy's he's a one-armed bandit, right? Like something happened to his other arm, it's gone. He like lost it in a Rancor butt or something. Like
I mean, I
it's
know how.
oh okay, well I haven't gotten that far, so yeah. It, but like all this shit's like you're sitting there doing all this stuff, and then it's like cutscene, and there's not a mark on, there's not a scratch on him, and you're just
Yeah.
like, okay, so did I just not get done beating his ass with a lightsaber for like the past 30 minutes? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, you put that lightsaber in his face like how many times? And
yeah,
he's
like,
just like, I'm actually better than you, by the way,
yeah,
and I'm gonna beat
and,
you now in the cinematic.
yeah, and like the whole thing is just like, why though? Like you could have done better at telling that, like at the story points, like the crucial story points. Don't make the crucial story points boss fights. Like make them just like make it a movie, and then like at certain points, just make it a game. Like Final Fantasy is notorious for doing that shit. It's like movie the game. Is that Final Fantasy, or am I thinking of something else? Another
Might be
IP?
thinking of Metal Gear.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But like basically like
Kato would
everybody
know.
yeah, everybody would be totally okay if you just made a Star Wars movie that was like 20 hours long, and in between the movie bits, like there was breaks where we just played a game. Like everybody would be fine with that. Anybody that was a Star Wars person would be like totally smitten with it. Especially if you made it to where it wasn't like a Souls-like game frame. Like the framework of the game. Oh god, dude, the save points. Oh, it's so much fun, isn't it?
No, Eddie, no. I go through stim packs like it's mother freaking candy, and I'm up to I have 11 stim packs.
Jesus, how do you have?
Yeah,
I only have 6.
You gotta keep finding them,
Dude, I get
those chests, man.
like Grandmaster mode like breaks it off in you, dude. I only have 6.
Breaks it off in you.
Dude, like it hurts. It's painful. Like literally it's basically like you have to hit the parry window. Like if you don't hit the parry window, like Bill from accounting on the Death Star, he just fucks you up, dude. Like that's it. Like it's just, they everything does so much damage. And it feels bad because like games like Elden Ring, like, you know how Elden Ring feels, and you're just like, yeah, this feels good. And like, even though you have boss fights, and
I don't.
well, it's okay. Well,
I don't play from soft games, dude.
well, I really don't either. But Elden Ring is a great example of what this game should try to be as far as combat. Because like in Elden Ring, you can be a glass cannon as well. Like that's the thing. Like, yeah, the game's hard, but the game's not unfair. Whereas Star Wars is hard, and it's hard because it makes it unfair. Like that's what I hate about hard games like this.
Like Rancor one shot eat you.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It took. Well, here's the thing. I didn't realize because the game doesn't. I don't think ever tells you. Like you can press B or whatever to dodge. You can double press it to dodge more.
Yeah, you could dodge, and then you could actually dash.
That when fighting the freaking Rancor, and he does a stupid like turns red. Oh, here comes an unblockable attack. He's gonna grab you and kill you in one shot. I'm like, I'll just do a little sidestep. It's never enough. I didn't know you could double B and actually like dive out of the way. I fought that mother fricker like how many freaking times until I just figured it out by accident, and then I beat him fairly easily because it's he telegraphs his attacks and you just dodge him and you whittle away at him until he's gone.
Also, the best place to dodge into is his crotch. There's like 2 attacks that you can't dodge into his crotch, but you have to dodge away. But if you dodge into his crotch, he does not hit you, and then you're like right next to him, and you could just punish him.
Well, until he stomps you.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you could only hit him 3 times, depending on the lightsaber stance you use. But you could hit him 3 times, and then you got to back out twice.
Can we talk about lightsaber stances in this game real quick, though?
Yeah.
How many have you gotten?
I got all of them. Yeah, I got all of them.
Oh, you got all of them?
Yeah, I like the 2 new ones, but like honestly, like it goes back to the whole jetpack thing. Like, why would I not have had a blaster up to this point? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are Jedi so stupid that they don't realize the value of a blaster?
Well, it's just one of those tropes that's been around since the original trilogy, where Obi-Wan's like, oh, uncivilized, and then that's carried on and carried on and carried on. Yeah.
Also, like, do these people not learn? Like, are Jedi just that fucking stupid? Like obviously it didn't work.
They're all dead, dude.
It didn't work for them. Yeah, because they're all dead. Like, why not change it up a little bit? Evolve.
So here's the thing. The pistol thing was pretty cool at first. I never use it.
Dude, that's my favorite one. It's my favorite one.
I never use it. Never use it.
Dude,
I really like the cross guard because it's like using a freaking lightsaber claymore, and I dig the hell out of that. I was using that a lot. But you know what? I just go back to single saber. Balanced.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like the single one. It's too slow.
No.
It's slow.
To me it's balanced. Because like the double, like the dual wielding, it's fast, but you do like no damage.
What are you talking? It does more damage than the single.
Doesn't feel like it.
I wonder if it's damage over time, like DPS, instead of like single hit damage. Like the single probably does more single hit damage, but it swings so slow that it really is not as much.
I don't know. I discovered I ended up like distributing all of my points over and starting over and just putting everything into single and then everything and everything else.
Really?
And I've completely ignored double, dual, and everything else.
Like literally the first thing I maxed out the survival tree first.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like, you know how the Rancor one shot you? Like it 2-shot me. It makes it to where like you have so much more health. Like it almost triples your health.
Yeah, and then all the little shard things you find out there.
Yeah, dude, like those
give you even more health. Sometimes.
I wish there was a way to know if it was going to give you health or force. That's another thing.
Point.
Yeah, like that's another fucking thing I hate. Like the force meter. Like what? Like all of a sudden the force isn't with me anymore? I did not realize the force was a consumable item. Like what is my
I'm running
midichlorian
low on
count?
force.
Yeah, my midichlorian count's low. I need to eat more protein today. Like what the fuck is that shit? Oh,
I hear if you drink pineapple juice, the midichlorians are really tasty.
it makes your midichlorians taste better. Oh my god. If you
Yeah,
eat,
no, it's
you-
stupid.
like I feel like the game
for a game though, it makes
Yeah.
sense though, I guess.
like that's the
But
thing
it's-
though. Like that's my biggest complaint about this game and the game before it, right? Is the structure of the game that they've chosen does not fit the narrative they're trying to tell. Like it just takes me out of it. It's just like, okay, am I a Jedi, or am I just a weak bitch that happens to have a lightsaber every once in a while?
Yes, and yes.
Like
The answer is yes to both.
oh god, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the combat in it. I feel like the combat it's not done well. At harder difficulties, the game breaks itself, and to me
Right.
that is a bad combat system. When your combat system is not refined enough to have a good hard mode, you should not have a good hard mode. You should not have a hard mode. Like just put it on the normal difficulty and leave it there. Make it
That's what I do.
Yeah, well no, like the thing of it is like they make it a choice, and I want to be a Grandmaster Jedi, goddammit. So I'm gonna have to do it. But they've made it such a bad experience because they've made it like not good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't like the animation stun lock is just way too long. Like literally the other day
Yeah.
I was in a fight. I fought like 150 battle droids, right? In one of those tears. And like literally I got stun locked for like 30 seconds. I just got stun locked and pushed around the entire arena. Like what
dude,
the
don't
hell?
even get me started on the gang banging.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like one of them hits you. Oh gosh, Cal Kestis can't
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's what I was saying. Like if you fight like I damn near broke because I've been playing it with a controller.
I bought a new controller because of this game.
Oh, did you break one?
No, I didn't break it, but like
Oh.
this game is basically like, is my controller fucked up? Like, is like my controller like what's happening right now? Like that's how bad like the animation lock and input latency and all that stuff is in this game. Like it's very animation bound, right? Like if you're in the middle of doing a thing, you can't do another thing. Which okay, that makes sense. But also like the parry windows and the other things that I have to hit are at such a point to where like there's no point in doing anything. Why even have this animation or swing a sword? All you are supposed to do in Grandmaster mode is just sit there and wait to parry something. You can't be aggressive. You just gotta wait to parry. Like basically it's Sekiro. It's weird.
I don't know. I will never play the game in a harder difficulty. I'm surprised I've lasted this long on medium.
Hey,
And I've damn near gotten close. I've gotten close to just being like, screw it. Because that's what I did in the first game, dude. When I played the first game, the first time I was like, the frick is
No.
this game? Why is Stormtroopers kicking my ass?
Dude, like I definitely
I put it on the easiest difficulty because like I need to have fun here. I'm not here for the boss grind.
No, I
fight grind.
definitely recommend people play this game on the easiest difficulty if they're there for the Star Wars story and the fantasy of being a Jedi.
For sure.
Like if you're there for the fantasy of being a Jedi, put it on the easiest level because at the end of the day, this is a game that makes you not feel like a Jedi if you're not on the easiest difficulty. And even on the easiest difficulty, there are times where you're just like, you just get absolutely boned. But, you know, there's bad Jedi, like as in Jedi with zero skill, like the Force is no longer with them. Like that's another thing, right? Like the Jedi that die, like because of like stupid stuff, right? You go around and you get these Force echoes and you're like, oh, these Jedi died. Oh, weird stuff happened. Oh, well, all this stuff. Did the Force just like give up on them? Like, was the Force just like, you know what? It's your time.
Yeah,
Like this
it did.
rock is gonna drop on you. Yeah, it's gonna be telegraphed from a mile away, but yeah, it's just gonna fall on you. It's basically the guy getting ran over by a Zamboni. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what movie was that? There was like I want to say it was Deadpool. It was Deadpool where he was like trying to kill, he was going to kill a guy on an ice rink or whatever, and he was just going to run him over with a Zamboni. But the guy was on the other end of the ice rink. Yeah, and he's just like, I'm coming to get you. Like, basically, like, those Jedi are that dude. Like, the Force gave up on them. Who knew the Force could be such a fickle mistress?
Hey, man, maybe we just don't understand it as much as we thought we did.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't until the beginning of the series, halfway through the telling of the series, that we found out what the Force actually interacts with in a biological sense. Midichlorians.
Oh yeah.
That's
thanks for reminding me.
You remember how pissed people were when they found out the Force wasn't magic?
Oh, it was. I don't think I ever thought it was magic, like in the sense of like fantasy and magic. But I didn't think it was that.
Like
think it was just like why did they have to quantify it? Like why did they have to bring it? Why did they have to do that?
I don't know.
No one like leave it.
Nobody asked for this.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally nobody.
Nobody asked for
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't believe. Trust me. Yeah. I'm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once it was science and not magic, people
you notice though that midichlorians I don't think has ever come up again.
I think it has, but in like lore stuff, because like with all this cloning shenaniganery that's going on, this through line of all the Star Wars like TV shows and stuff like that, like the cloning stuff that's leading up to Palpatine returning, they're trying to explain that, right? And the reason you can't clone a Jedi, they haven't figured out how to make midichlorians happen, right? And then they finally make midichlorians happen. Like, we have the spoiler banner up still because we're talking spoilers. Have you watched the last season of The Mandalorian?
I haven't. Don't spoil that for me though.
All right.
That's where I gotta draw the line.
So like, yeah, like that's what.
Sorry.
That's the scientific reasoning. There's cloning stuff happening. I can't say any more than that. But apparently in the Star Wars universe, you can't clone midichlorians or produce like false midichlorians or whatever. But like that's what Darth Plagueis figured out when he helped create Anakin Skywalker. He injected yada yada, whatever her name was. I can't remember. His mom's name. I can't remember what his mom's name was. Darth Plagueis, Darth Sidious's master, the one he killed, right? Darth Plagueis made Anakin Skywalker. Like Anakin Skywalker was a fucking experiment for Darth Plagueis creating a clone with midichlorians.
Anakin.
Yes.
Darth Vader.
Yes.
Okay, this is news.
Well, yeah, it's not in like movies and stuff. I think I don't know if it's actually canon anymore. Yeah, it's Kater's right. That's extended universe stuff. It's Star Wars Legends. It's not canon.
I'm gonna say I don't remember that.
But like that was like the thing for like Darth Plagueis was like he was a more science-based Sith Lord or whatever, and he was trying to figure out a way to make him live forever. So he figured out a way to like he heard of another Sith Lord or whatever transferring his essence from one body to the next, right? So Darth Plagueis was like, all right, cool. If I could do that, then I could I just need to figure out how to create a body that can increase in power, and then I'll just live forever and I'll be all powerful, right? So he was doing that. Lakshmi, I think is what her name was, like Lakshmi Skywalker or whatever. I don't know. Shmi?
Or Schnee or some weird stupid ass name.
Okay, her name was Schnee. All right, or whatever.
I don't remember.
So like,
it was bad.
Somehow it happened out that she was the person that like he he like did some stuff, or like she was a science experiment and she didn't know about it. And
So that's why she says there was no father.
yeah, like that's what she said. Like that's why she didn't realize that she was part of a science experiment where Darth Plagueis was
Okay.
like, "Hey, guess what, girl? You're pregnant." And like she gave birth to Anakin Skywalker, which had like the most, like, his, as Qui-Gon said, his midichlorian counts off the charts. Like
Off the
that's
freaking chain, yo.
yeah, like that was the whole basis on like how he's like the one, because his midichlorian count was so high, and Darth Plagueis made that. So it was a Sith Lord making a dude, and then the dude was supposed to be the one that brought balance to the Force, apparently, or some shit like that. It was fucking wild, right?
I'm glad that's not canon. It's stupid.
But like it kind of ties into what they're trying to do, because they haven't been able to clone a Jedi because of midichlorian.
Right.
Like they can't figure it out.
I guess it's an interesting idea, I suppose.
Because like if you can clone a Jedi, okay, cool. Why not just like make a billion million Jedi clones? Why make all the clone troopers? Why not just make them all Jedi? Like it's kind of like a way to like not be. It's a thing so you can say like, oh, why don't we have like 500 Superman or whatever, right? Like to make it a little bit more. Make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Whatever, dude.
Whatever, bro.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that crap, but
yeah. Either way.
Okay, well, I don't
Jedi
know
Survivor
what is canon and what isn't canon anymore.
Well,
that's the thing.
I think not published books, but like published comic books are canon, or the majority of them are canon, because they're all through Marvel and stuff like that, and they're like all based on stories of certain things. A lot of written literature up until Disney bought LucasArts or whatever, all that shit's legend and just don't count. It just don't count.
That's a shame, because there's a lot of really good books back in the day.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of books that just like fill out the stuff with like junk. It's just filler. It's just useless, stupid filler that a lot of it contradicts itself. And then you're sitting there and you're just like, what the fuck is this shit? Darth Plagueis did what to Shmi? Literally, Darth Plagueis, he was a sugar daddy.
Wasn't Shmi the name of Hook's like right-hand man?
No, that was Smee. There wasn't an H in his Shmi.
Okay.
But he said it with an accent, so it sounded like there was an H in there. Is that the through line, that like the Star Wars universe is where Captain Hook and Smee came from in Neverland, and that's 100%. Why there's 100%, and that's why there's magical powers in Neverland.
That's
because
why
it's
they
the
can
Force.
Fly, because
it's the Force. It's the Force.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! Wow, we figured it out.
Aliens.
Aliens. Wait. Hear me out. Aliens.
Wow. Well, that was a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, it was a lot of spoilers. Literally, like the past like hour was spoilers. Because like I had to keep it up, because you know how we go on a tangent, and like if I took it off, then I would have to like just like be on the spoiler trigger, just going like like that, right? It would basically be worse than me trying to fix my camera.
Oh. I don't know what could be worse than that. That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
But
it was so bad
it
broke Discord. Discord was like, dude, you need to stop. We're at yellow alert right now. We're about to go into the red. Please stop.
So if you had your choice on a Star Wars game, what would you want to see?
I would want to see a single player narrative driven just story game. I don't care about like if there's action prompts and if there's like things where I get to live out the fantasy of being a character in the Star Wars universe. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. But literally just make a movie but sell it on a gaming platform. That's it. Like if you,
So you
or like, oh dude, what if, oh dude, what if there was a Star Wars survival game where you're just a dude on a planet, right? Like you're just basic bitch dude on a planet, and you just have to live, and you're trying to figure out how to live. Like you're a dude on Tatooine, you know, like a planet full of
You're a
scum and
moisture
villainy.
farmer?
Yeah, you're just a moisture farmer, and you're just trying to figure out how to survive. You got sand people to deal
So
with.
this is like green hell, but with sand.
Yeah, but with sand,
And it's Star Wars.
it would be
Valheim.
yeah, it would basically be that. Like now that I think about it, that's a terrible premise. It's a terrible premise, but like I would just like honestly like actually like an MMO would be pretty good, but not. I don't want an MMO because MMOs are designed.
They have an MMO.
Yeah, I know, but MMOs suck. Because they're designed to never end. Like they're basically just grind machines. I don't want a grind machine. I want something
Star
to tell
Wars,
me a story.
The Old Republic is pretty good game actually for an MMO.
But it's not canon, so it doesn't even fucking count. So why fill your head with lies? And B, right? Like what why am I going to spend 1,000 hours just standing here looking at 4 pixels, 3 polygons talking to each other? Like, come on.
Why are you spending 1,000 hours, man? Jeez.
Like, also I'm kind of pissed because I did buy it on Steam because I was going to play it, and it just won't boot up. It will not play. And I looked into it, and it's like, oh, you need to do all this shit to get it to play on Windows 10, and I'm just like, fucking crap. Or you could just buy it on GOG and it worked, I think. Because GOG makes sure their stuff works on modern systems.
I just play it straight from the launcher. I don't play it from Steam because I've been playing since beta.
Wait, you're talking about the MMO?
Yeah.
I thought...
What are you talking about?
I was talking about the single-player RPG. That was a...
Oh, you mean Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, Knights KOTOR. Yeah, that's the game I tried to play. But the MMO, I've played that, and it was fine up until like level 20, and then all of a sudden I realized like, oh, I have to pay for this. Like, why even have it free to play? Just make it to where I pay you money up front, and I'll just play it.
You don't have to. You can like pretty much play the whole game for free right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can play it for free.
Like level 70 or something like that.
Yeah, and you're going to be sitting there for thousands of hours because they manipulate the grind, the XP curve.
It's actually not that bad. Like I play solo, and I do subscribe. Like I play the MMO subscription for my own reasons.
Yeah,
but you don't have to.
When was the last time you played it for free?
Not too long ago, actually. I started playing again, and I was playing it for free, and I was like, well, I kind of want, because you do get some nice perks for subscribing, but you know. I know how you feel about that kind of stuff, so I'm not even going to talk about it.
What kind of stuff?
Oh, like more inventory space and kind of the same old bullcrap that MMOs do.
So like, it's like pay for convenience.
Essentially,
like I get
and I like convenience.
Yeah, like I'm
willing to pay for it.
Like I'm down for game developers and publishers and like people that make the shit making money. I'm down for that. Like yes, please by all means make money. Like I understand business and like people got to make money and people want to get rich and yada yada yada. But also like just I hate paying for things that should just be free with the product because of their business model states that this should, like, if you're doing this for free then they have to pay for this. Like, oh, come on, dude. Just like make me pay. Like I'm fine paying $80 for a game. Like literally I pay $100 and something for Destiny 2 every fucking year. Like I'm a grown ass adult. I have a job. I will pay you money for entertainment. Like $100 and something a year for entertainment is like a big nothing burger. Like literally that's 2 movies. Like it's going to the movie theater twice. It's a little kitty. It's a little kitty. We can't see him because he's all blurred out. But he's a little kitty.
No, I mean, it really just comes down to personal preference at this point. I think we can agree on, like, you don't like to pay for that stuff, and I don't mind paying for that stuff because we have different expectations of, or of entertainment and what it's
Yeah.
worth and and whatnot. Like,
Well,
to
no,
me,
like
I don't mind if it's something I don't mind. Like, if I enjoy the game, and if that's the way it is, that's just the way it is. Me whining
yeah,
about it ain't gonna change it.
yeah, no,
But I
no
still want
amount.
those things that come with paying the subscription for it. That's not true of all games, mind you. Some games I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna pay that because I don't enjoy the game as much, or
So
the benefits aren't really worth it.
does SWOTOR have microtransactions in it?
Um, they do,
Why do so
but
then
it's
why do they have a subscription?
I can't remember everything that comes with the subscription. I would have to look it up.
So that's one of my big issues. Like if you have a subscription
I
service,
know it is.
you should not have microtransactions. If you have microtransactions, there should not be a subscription. Which, like you stated,
Right.
you don't have to pay the subscription because there's microtransactions. But if you don't pay for the subscription, it takes you twice as fucking long to do anything as far as like getting leveled up and being a big thick Chad. Like I want to be a thick Chad Sith man that does Sith man things out in the Star Wars universe. But I'm not going to sit here and like waste my entire existence grinding and grinding and grinding, and they're just going to keep moving the goalpost. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, then don't.
Yeah, no. We've had
I
this
mean,
conversation a couple of times. That's kind of why we're just like, meh, it is what it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much what you get as a subscriber in the Star Wars, the Old Republic MMO, you get as many characters as you want, because otherwise I think you can only have a certain active characters with a free account.
Yeah.
And you get access to all the content
Yeah.
that's come out. So, I mean,
All right.
I have, like, if
So
you go
are-
long periods
what
of time without playing,
So
you
is
have
what you're
access to
telling
all
me
that.
is like we need to start playing SWOTOR together? Because I got a couple of other friends that play SWOTOR.
We don't have to. I don't play it a lot, mind you.
Well, I mean,
I
we
only
don't
play it occasionally.
we don't play video games anymore, buddy. Since we
Need
since
to-
we beat like the Sons of the Forest, we don't play video games no more.
Well, that's because we have yet to figure out what to play. I tried to get you to play Dead Island 2, and
Yeah,
you
I'm
just
just
weren't interested.
yeah, I just wasn't like I was looking at it and I'm just like, dude, like the melee combat shit in this game, just look at it. Like it's just bad.
It's actually very satisfying. And it's
Okay.
gory AF,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, no, it is. That is a very interesting thing. I'm just like, wow, they just went for it. They were like, okay, there's intestines and guts and body parts and things falling
Yeah,
off and all kinds of stuff.
Jawbones hanging off of their heads and the
Which-
eyeballs coming out of their freaking face.
Yeah, which is like, hey, good for them. That's like zombie games need to have that.
It's
shit.
a zombie.
I agree with it.
100%. I haven't played it a ton because when I first started playing it, I was like, I'm not gonna do content. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna play it. And then I started playing. I was like, maybe I will do some. And I've done one video on it because I've been playing some other stuff.
Yeah.
But so I haven't got to play it a ton, mind you. I haven't even gotten to any vehicles or anything, which I guess are in there. But it's fun.
Yeah, no, like I'm not saying it's not fun. Like it's just like I feel like beating somebody with a baseball bat today, and like you go do that. But
Yeah.
like I looked at the beginning of the game, and then I looked at people at the end of the game, and like literally they were just doing the same thing. They were like
Yeah.
just going in there and hitting people with. I'm just like, okay, so like there's no
you,
like
you want to upgrade the nuclear weapons or something? Like,
yeah, like there's no progression. It's just like, okay, this first 10 minutes of the game, you feel like this is what it's going to be like. Cool. This is what it's going to be for like the next 30 hours. Like, okay. And if
that's
you,
a
and
game, dude.
I know, but if you're down for it,
Games are like
that's
that.
great. If you're not down for it, then you don't want to play it. And I wasn't down for it. I'm just like, dude, I don't feel like hitting this zombie for the 30 hours. I just don't.
Hey,
just don't.
That's fine, man. You don't have to, man. You go play Destiny for 1,000 hours and then come back to me, all right?
Oh, I've already played it for 1,000 hours. I've already came back. Literally, the
Oh,
things I'm
man.
saying is exactly what Destiny does. Because it's like, oh, you see this? It's the same exact thing.
You know what they call people like you?
Gamers.
Hypocrites.
No, gamers. That's what they call it.
Gamers.
Gamers, man.
Freaking gamers, man. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just a personal preference thing. Maybe.
No, it totally is.
I see you out there, Kato, saying that if
you...
I'm saying it's bad, then it's good. You know what? I said Redfall was good, and so you're probably right. Actually, Redfall's not good. It's a very bad game, but it's not as bad as everybody's bitching about.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I really don't listen to all the bullcrap about games, especially because, like we mentioned at the top of the podcast, like people have unrealistic expectations for games now.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, that's just a trend. Maybe it's always been that way, and I just never noticed it. But it seems like within the last like 10 or 15 years, it's just gotten worse.
I wonder if it's because the consumers changed. Like you got to think about it. Like when we were growing up, that was the 90s, right? So like you had like Superman 64. Like that level of game, right?
Why you gotta use that as an example?
Because like literally we had Star Fox 64, Superman 64, and any other IP that was around right back then with a 64 in it. And then you had like Resident Evil and like Gran Turismo and shit like that, right? So like you had those tier of games. So we grew up on that stuff. So that's what we expect from a game. So now the market, when did they grow up? They grew up in what, 2004, 2007, 2000. Like when was the best? Something? Yeah, when was the best year for gaming ever? 2004 something? When like Halo 2 came out? When did that come out?
It's subjective.
But no,
best era in gaming is quite subjective.
But no, like I'm talking about the most bangers in a year. There's actually a thing where like the most banger video games came out. It was like some year in the early 2000s, like 2004 or something like that. But like you think about it, like a lot of the people that are in their late teens, mid 20s, which are like the gamers, right? Those are the gamers. Like they grew up in that era, and so they have different expectations for entertainment from a video game. Like their bar is set a lot higher than what our bar is.
Yeah, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it for sure, 100%. You know, like you said, think about the game. Like anything now is like amazing compared to the stuff we were playing when we were kids. Because like you said, it was all 64-bit, clunky, blocky.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched a black and white movie or a silent film?
I don't know. I don't know if I've actually ever watched a silent film. Like,
well, back
in
the
back in the
20s and 30s, dude, that was mainstream entertainment. People worked for a week to go get entertained by a silent film. Nowadays, like they don't even make them any fucking more because nobody will watch it.
Yeah.
So like it's that type of thing, right? Like if you released a game that would have been released back in before we were kids, right? Like back in the early 80s. Like Ballin' Cup, the game, right? Would anybody even buy that?
It's Ballin' Cup.
Stick and hoop.
Stick and hoop. Or
if
just hula hoop.
If you released a game and it was called Kickin' Rocks, the game, would anybody? Somebody would buy that.
Yeah, I bet you they would. In fact,
but if it wasn't a video game,
you know, what do you mean?
Like board games, like the board game market's actually starting to come back because Hasbro figured it out, right? They figured out how to integrate things into entertainment, like that people actually watch.
Hasbro, I don't even want to get on the topic of Hasbro. They can go screw themselves.
But before
evil company.
Before like 2015 or whatever, like tabletop games were like people thought tabletop games were dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And that was what the gaming entertainment was before we were kids.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so that was what entertainment, like the generation before us was like, yo, tabletop games, that's the shit. Let's do this forever. Right? And it almost died because people stopped giving a shit because we came up and we were like, nah, dude, video games are the shit. tabletop games are garbage, right? Even though they're not, they just take imagination and that's it. Right? And
Yeah.
like
No,
so
yeah.
maybe that's what's starting to happen now. Like the older tropes of gaming are going to start fading out, or people just think games should be better because they were at a certain point when they grew up. They were already good when they started growing up, and now they just need to get better and better and better.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe that's the
I
thing.
wouldn't disagree with that, but not to the point of being like I hate everything that comes out for no reason.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. No,
I
I see the point you're trying to make. Yeah, I get it.
like I do believe like video game is a great industry for innovation. We've seen it since we've been playing video games. You know, like there's so much room for innovation. I don't think that the innovation has been extinguished or used up at all, especially with new technologies coming out, and especially like with uh, Unreal 5 and AI and stuff like that that we've talked about. Like I think that there's a lot more room for innovation, and there's really no excuse for, especially big AAA gaming companies, am I right?
Yeah.
To not be really putting forth the best they can because they have them. Like, think about gaming developers in the 80s. They were just dudes in a basement
Yeah.
making games. And now you've got entire studios with millions and billions of dollars behind them. And it's like, well, I understand that the process of developing a game is extremely complicated and takes a lot of time and effort and personnel and money and stuff, but like come on, you've got so much more at your disposal. I
We're
understand the frustration with gamers being like, why does every new game that comes out is hot garbage?
I wonder if we're in like the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s of video games, but like not video games. You know, like in the late 70s and early 80s of movies, like basically sci-fi films were just trash, right? They were just trash. Like sci-fi action films were just garbage. Like if it wasn't a Western, then it didn't even fucking count. Like it wasn't good, right? And then like you had all these sci-fi films and they were just like jank as fuck, dude. They're just so like janky, and now we call them cult classics, but back then they were just like trash, right? They were just bad. People would look at it and be like, what the fuck is this? And then you had Star Wars, and Star Wars was amazing, and everybody was just like, oh my fucking god, right? And then we moved into an era of the 80s where we had these action films that were just like trash. They were so bad, and it was so, but they were making fuck tons of money, right? So people kept making them. They were just easy cash flow. And then all of a sudden we started getting into the 90s and we had like real action movies that were just full of just special effects and explosions, and we loved it. And then Die Hard came out and we were just like, right? Like
Die Hard.
Die Hard came out. We were just
Greatest
like
Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, you know, like shit like that, right? And then like rom-coms happen and all that. The same progression. It's just same progression, but like different name.
You're just talking about what's trending.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if like the trend is just changing. Like so far we like they're just cranking out stuff that makes money, and that's understandable. They're a business, but they haven't like the trend is at its end and we're about to go into a new trend. Like I wonder if that's what we're seeing. We're like seeing the end of the trend where everybody's like, "Okay, we've had this. Like please, something new and different, please." And like the first thing that comes out that's new and different enough, it's going to set the next trend. What do you think that's going to be?
I don't know, but I think we see it a lot with indie games. I mean, think about all the games that come out when was their last huge super popular AAA game? What was the last like super popular AAA game?
It's going to be controversial, but like Hogwarts Legacy was fucking exploded. But I think that was a lot of due to the controversy,
But
gave it more press.
it's done with.
Yeah, no, it's done with. Like it's
Like
dead in the
once you
water.
play through that game, that's it. Like I tried
Yeah,
to play through it a second time, and I was
and
like,
it
nah,
was
I'm done. I played
yeah,
through it.
it's
But like,
over.
what was the
Yeah,
last like really good game that just like changed like
everything.
everything? You know, like something that people talked about, or still talking about, and still playing.
I mean, honestly, like The best place to
AAA now.
the best place to find that is the Twitch browser, I feel like.
Well, I guess really it doesn't matter what the answer is. The point is that I'm trying to make is what was the last indie game that was? And you can probably name a few without even thinking about it. Valheim, for instance.
Yeah.
Minecraft, for instance. I
Oh,
mean,
no,
Among Us, Fall Guys.
The last,
I mean, like the list is endless.
So what I can see, the most recent, like, current AAA game to, like, really change shit and, like, stay on top and stay interesting is Fortnite.
Is that AAA? I mean, I guess it is.
I mean, it's Epic Games, like,
yeah.
But you look at, like, I'm looking at Twitch browser right now. Here, let's I'm gonna have to do this, right, and then I gotta get rid of Palpy Baby.
I was gonna say that or Grand Theft Auto seems
like,
to still be pretty popular.
Yeah, you look at, like, Fortnite's right here, right? Like, Fortnite Battle Royale changed the fucking game. Like, it literally changed the landscape of gaming. And then Call of Duty Warzone and Apex Legends came, like, followed behind it. But then you've got, like, WoW, but that was a long time ago. GTA 5, but that was before Fortnite.
Right,
Minecraft changed gaming. Like, basically it created the whole survival genre, but that was way before Fortnite. I don't even. Oh, this is that Honkai Star Rail. That's that Genshin Impact. Their next game. Those game developers' next game. But yeah, like, honestly, like, the last AAA game that, like, changed the landscape and, like, it stuck was Fortnite and the whole Battle Royale thing. And dude, Battle Royale sucks so much. I hate Battle Royales. I really do.
As do I.
I think like, even though I hate them, I don't not play them. Like, Fortnite and Call of Duty actually have figured out how to make Battle Royales, like, digestible. Apex Legends still sucks at it. Like, it just, I don't know what EA's thinking. Like, I don't know what they're doing over here, but yeah, I tried playing it with a friend the other day and it was just like, no, this is the reason I don't like Battle Royale. Like, it was just the reason I don't like them. But Fortnite is sustainable because it has different game modes and they're player created game modes. And then Call of Duty is sustainable because it has DMZ mode in it, which is basically Tarkov, right? Yo, PUBG Battlegrounds is still out here doing things. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Well, I guess what was the point we were like? What's the next trend? I think honestly,
what do you think the next trend's gonna be?
You want to know what my honest opinion? I think indie games is the next trend. I think AAA has gone as far as it can. Because we're seeing the telltale signs of the end of that industry, or not industry, but just like I said, they have so much tools at their disposal. They've got money, they've got personnel, they've got technology, they've got everything, and yet they still can't give us finished products that are worth anything.
That's the trend.
And yet you've got indie developers that are sometimes one person, maybe dozen people at the most,
and they make Spaceborne 2.
Well, Spaceborne 2 is a good example, but Valheim is another really great example.
So the trend is AAA game failure, and I think it started with maybe No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky dug its, like, phoenix through the fire. Cyberpunk put the nail in the coffin.
I think it started, the game that I think of that started this trend of downward spiraling AAA games that just were crap and, like, was the first one I can think of that stands out to me anyways was Assassin's Creed Unity, the one that takes place during the French Revolution.
Well,
was such a janky mess. To me, for whatever reason, to me that stands out as, like, the first,
that's the one
AAA game that just started the trend of, like, just AAA developers not doing what their best, I guess. And maybe that's unfair to say because I'm not a game developer. I don't know what they do and what they go through. But I'm telling you, you give one of these indie developers $1 million to make a game, and they're going to make the best dang game you probably ever played. The fact that they can make what they make with a little amount of money and other stuff,
resources, it just goes
really
to prove
impressive.
that you don't need what AAA developers have.
Exactly.
Like, because there's just not a good example of, like, cost like return on investment. Like is like okay, so AAA games that have gone the distance. You basically MMOs like WoW. You got like MOBAs like League and Dota, and then you got team-based strategy shooters like Valorant, CS:GO, and then you got battle royales. You also got Minecraft, but that's a weird oddity. That's a weird oddity. And like gotcha games, like like basically things with like gotcha mechanics or like microtransactions. Like that's the trend of like free to play, always online. Like we're taking all your shit. It doesn't matter. We're gonna like squeeze you to death for games. That's the trend that's ending. And like I think I agree with you. Like the indie game trend is starting because it's either starting or it's been going and it's gonna be like a slow burn type thing because it's basically the antithesis of what is currently the trend. Because it's just like instead of like crap ton of resources, 100 people dev teams, like failed product on launch, instead of that, it's hey, I'm just a dude out here trying to make a thing. You want to play my game, bro? Like it's your friends making a game. Okay, I'll make the game. I'll play it, whatever. And then
It
it's
kind of
good, and
just
you're just like, oh my god, why can't you do this, fucking AAA dev? Why can't you do this shit? It's weird. It's a weird thing, I think.
is weird. Kind of feels like we're going back to the beginning.
The beginning of what? Oh,
Like
back to it's a cyclical thing that we're going back to the
yeah, it's
80s.
yeah, it's back to a couple of people in their basement making games because they love making games, and they're not restricted by publishers and big money
Well, that
and
is
shareholders.
yeah, that is a thing cuz like games are a form of expression, right? They're artistic expression on top of being a form of entertainment, right? So anytime you have like an artistic expression like pick paintings or music or freaking whatever, right? Like handcrafted thingamabobs or anything that requires passion. Like once you have financial resources to do whatever you want to, like it's hard to find the passion. Like it is because you're like literally like I remember being a teenager in an early 20 something and just being like, man, I need to get this shit done because you know what? I like to eat food. Like I need to figure out a way to make this shit work. And now that I'm a 30 something with a steady paycheck and like, my mortgage is covered, everything's fine. Like the passion to do a thing, it's not as much. Like really it takes like a curiosity instead of a passion to do a thing. And I wonder if game devs, like game developers, like AAA game devs just don't have the passion to like, hey, we're this large group of people. There's no way they could all have the same amount of passion to do a thing, right? There's no way because it's just a huge group of people. And
Yeah.
if their leadership is not on point, then they're like the game's it's not going to make it. Because their leadership, their responsibility is to like guide the troops, right? Like make sure everybody's on the same page, has the same like end goal, right? Like to make this quality of a product, yada yada yada. It's on the individual developer themselves to freaking like do the best they can, I guess, or whatever. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like basic team management stuff right there. Like that's kind of in the industry, so. You okay, bud?
AAA games, am I right?
Am I right? Yeah, I heard great things about Redfall. I heard it was going to be a great one. I hope Starfield's a good one. I really am like as much bullshit as I talk about Bethesda and how like far they've fallen, like I do hope Starfield's good. If anything, I hope Starfield's good to make I hope it's at I hope it's at the extreme of the spectrum that it's in. Whatever spectrum that may be, I hope it's at the extreme of it, either good or bad. For the simple fact of it, like either it's going to be a wake up call or it's going to be a fucking wake up call of like, hey, this is what's happening. Wow, this is great. Or hey, this is what's happening. whoa, we need to do something, right?
Yeah.
Like I
I
hope it's
agree.
great. Really do. But also, if it's not, then I hope it's bad enough for people to like notice it. Because like I'm seeing it a lot, like just AAA game after AAA game, and also not just AAA games, like indie games too. Like there's so many indie games. There's hundreds of thousands of indie games that are just like halfway there and never get finished.
Oh yeah. But
And it's
they definitely have more of an excuse not to than a company with multi-billions of dollars behind them.
yeah,
Because a lot of times an indie game won't get finished because they just don't have money
yeah. They
or
don't.
they don't have people.
Like
Like
they needed to go make food to eat, so like
yeah.
you can't make a game to do that. And I think indie games fall under the radar too because there's so many of them. Like you just don't notice if you've like
Oh yeah,
done a
dude.
thing. Yeah.
Like if you go to freaking itch.io right now, which is where I get most of my uh, indie games, like just going to the main page and sorting by popular, there's 743,575 results for indie games on this website alone.
Oh my god.
Now, obviously, that dates back to God knows when, but just to give you an idea. And there's a lot of games on here that will never see the light of day. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a discussion for another time, I think.
Okay. Oh, are we done? Okay. What are we gonna call this podcast? Like this episode? Like, because we kind of went all over the place. Like, I think AAA games. Am I right? Is a solid title.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a solid title, right?
That's yeah, heck yeah. That's why I kept
Because
saying it.
okay. Oh, I
Because
get
it
it.
kind of like
It was a callback
it'll
joke.
yeah
Got
it'll
it.
yeah. You see how that works? Eh?
Yeah. All right, people. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.